Hello, hello. Am I live? I have to test the sound today because yesterday, yesterday, was doing part two on the Grow Up blog post by Arthur Hayes, and I did a whole hour, like an hour, 6 minutes, and yeah, went to play it back. It got posted on YouTube as well, and I went to just check the sound. I wonder if it came out. I had a sneaky feeling, maybe in the back of my mind, it didn't, and sure enough, lo and behold, it did not play any sound, which is really sad because now when I read it, the second part, it's not going to have the same, reactions, and there was some mind-blowing revelations or thoughts shared by Arthur Hayes. I don't know if you saw the first one already. And the first part is already described how everything got crushed in terms of all assets apart from Taiwan Semiconductor and Bitcoin. Literally, even the S&P 500 only went up 37% from the 2009 low, like March 9th, 2009, up to present day. In actuality, it's only gone up 37% against Fed balance sheet. Amazing stuff. So that really highlights how big the 2000 internet stock boom was. It was ginormous, absolutely ginormous. Anyway, I'm going to test the sound on the playback. So excuse me for a minute. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, check the second source. I got sound. You can hear me. Unfortunately for you guys. Anyway, so let's delve deep into Arthur's brain, and it was excellent. He's got so much.
Anyway, so let's
delve
deep into Arthur's brain.
Here we go. Sorry. At least I'm definitely being heard by no one. Anyway, let's go back. Can you see? Yes, you can see. We ended it on Bitcoin, the first part. Taiwan Semi. Only thing or asset that Arthur was tracking in this editorial, this blog post, that has actually performed well, 320%, and against the Fed balance sheet and room to grow. He said it's going to take out this high. Amazing. S&P, look at that. Wrecked. So nominally, you've gone up from 666 to what, 4,100. So you make money, but the whole essence of this blog is saying the currency that got created during the past 12 years is sitting on these corporations' books, sitting in these prime dealer brokers' books, and the backstopping all US dollar denominated assets. That was the Fed chair was saying that during 2009. No, during 2020 March. I think there was a big announcement. It says basically to the market, we got your back again. The classic video, BTFD, right? From 2012. It's still going on. So it gave the green light. Gold, Bitcoin, only one. 24,280,396% against the balance sheet. So Bitcoin has done, in terms of, it's done 6 million X, right? $1 turns into $6 million, right? Is that correct? Again, percentages and multiples always screws me up. And when you're in crypto, the Western money system, number system, is actually kind of a hindrance. You need to use the Arab money system. If you don't know, India has, like, it takes me a while to kind of figure it out, but the Arab system works better for larger numbers. So, like, for instance, in India, they talk in lakhs, which is 100,000, right? So, I don't know, a car maybe worth 20, 30 lakhs, a new car. 20, 30 lakhs is 2.3, 2 or 3 million rupees, right? But saying million is kind of complicated, right? Why not just say 20 lakhs? It's got a nice, better ring to it, right? And then the one step above that is crore, CROE, look it up. And I think that's 10 million rupees. So it's a factor of 10, 100. 100 lakhs is a crore. And so people in India don't want to be millionaires. They want to be crowputties, they would call it, basically crow father, something like that. And I guess now you need to have 3 or 4 crores, to like have a good life out there. I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know. Never been to India in decades. Seems like, anyway. And like I said before, it's weird for me. It's a beautiful country. The food is amazing. I mean, I've had the best meals I've ever had in India, in Punjab, northern India, in the mountains, on the side of the road. Just brilliant. Or even go to the Golden Temple. Ask for spinach or saag, they call it, and it's just delicious. It's just green spinach in the sea of butter, and they cooked it for hours and hours and hours. It's just amazing. You Southerners will love it. And it's so like a bread. Okay, 24 million. Holler at that. The caveat here is that up until recently, Bitcoin's nominal USD market cap was supremely insignificant. Yeah. Now that it's crossed $1 trillion, we can see whether Fed-sponsored monetary debasement will continue Bitcoin's outperformance. Essentially, what's he saying? Okay, this is where part 2 starts. Where are we at? 5 minutes in. Okay, cool. Excuse me. Drinking tea. Just had lunch. Evidently, only Taiwan Semiconductor and Bitcoin outperformed the Fed's balance sheet expansion from 2008 until the present. That alone should illustrate the carnage inflicted on global markets as a result of efforts to defeat the horrors of deflation. So bad. It is bad. It is. Yeah, I will discuss maybe if Arthur doesn't. As bad as the performance was, that analysis assumed that you saved 100% of your income. It's impossible to save 100% of your income. G-Man takes 40, right? And then invested in financial assets or hard money equivalents. Yeah. Aggregate personal savings rate for the US as of February 2021 is 13.6. That's pretty high for US. Sometimes it's negative, right? Like 1 or 2%. Yeah. Let's make a big assumption that 86.4% of total income spent in the US is spent on goods whose prices in US dollars terms increase at the same rate as the Fed. Ooh. So all the stuff you buy is going up as fast as the Fed prints, right? That means just to stand still, you must not only invest 100% of your 13.6, which is your disposable income, right? Got to invest in 100% of your disposable income. Lever up to 7.35%. Nope, 7.35x. All right, 1 divided by 13.6% is 7.35x. Leverage is necessary because your 13.6% of equity must generate a return such that 100% of your earnings grow at the same pace at the Fed's balance sheet. Oh, is this blowing your mind? Is Arthur's mind blowing your mind? It should. It should. Arthur is the sharpest financial brain in crypto. I believe. I mean, there's certainly a few challenges up there with him, but who else is giving you nuggets like this for you to implement in your wealth generation strategy? The other way to keep up with the Kardashians is to get paid more. Yeah, keeping up with the Kardashians. Well, that's a nice theory. Take a look at the grotesque chart below of how labor wages perform versus capital from the highs of 2007 until the latest data point in 2019. Your wages. Yeah. Labor versus capital. HOUIMEDC index. So maybe buying a Bloomberg terminal is worth it. Could you plot this on TradingView? I don't know. Wage growth underperformed by 70%. Ouchie mama. Inflation makes everyone on market speculate. Yeah. I think this is gaining broader acceptance that everyone has to I was going to swear there. Am I allowed to swear? I don't know. Everyone's got to bloody gamble now, or expose their savings, like he's saying. They got to gear up. They got to lever up. You have to, because they must invest in financial assets and take larger risks to keep pace with monetary debasement. It's all the Fed's fault. The Fed are forcing your hand. The poorer you are, the less you save, and therefore the more leverage or market volatility is required. Oh, this is just getting even more painful to read. In order for you to break even amid increasing inflation. This is K-economy being described by Arthur. The least fortunate among us are often the most susceptible to dubious get-rich-quick schemes. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is true. That's why the scammers know this. As it is imperative that they swing for the fences. That's a baseball term. You batting for hit it out of the park. Given their limited ability to save, and subsequent difficulties purchasing financial assets for long-term investment orientation, they're swinging for the fences. They have to. They know it. They're feeling it now. And with poor financial knowledge, this is really dangerous stuff here. Whatever it takes. COVID first infected China's financial markets in January 2020. They're posting stellar GDP numbers, by the way. Wuhan, 58.96 or 58.6. First quarter 2021. The broader region around Wuhan is also around the 60% mark. China's on fire. And they're number one. I keep repeating. They're number one by 16% GDP. Not GDP. It was another metric, which is more accurate than GDP. When the rest of the world get the message that the pandemic was upon us, right? This is January 2020. The Fed governors earned their stripes. Oh, he's applauding, and proceeded to print like no administration has printed before. So the trade war that Trump started turned into a biological weapon war, right? Believe that. There's consequences for what Trump attempted to do, take on China. He lost twice. He lost the biological war, right? He lost the presidential election. He ain't coming back. There's no way, because now they've got their boy in place. The CCP have got their boy in place in DC, right? Who is enacting Chinese policies. I assume that will make the most sense. We'll see with what he does with trade with China. We've already seen Merkel bow down, kiss the ring of Xi. I think Boris has started to utter, yeah, I'm next in line after Merkel. I'll do more than kiss the ring, right? You never know, that dirty guy. The end game began when the Fed backstopped just about. Yeah, he got paid. He spent £200,000 on doing up his apartment in Downing Street. His annual salary is £180,000. Do the math. The end game began when the Fed backstopped just about all institutionally traded US-denominated credit instruments. That's a bit mouthful. The Fed backstopped, which means, what does that mean? They're the buy or last resort, right? When you want to sell something in a distressed way, so you want to sell your car and there's no one out there bidding, you start off for 10 grand and it's 9 grand, but you really need that money to pay your bills and pay your mortgage. Then you drop it to 8, 7, 6, 5, and it's still the ones buying it. Maybe your neighbors are feeling the pinch too. But then there's a guy around the corner who's like, yeah, or car dealership, used car dealership, I'll take it off your hands, or 6.5, something like that. That's backstopping. Yeah. The Fed's balance sheet increased by 25% in 2020. While the percent increase is large in and of itself, the fact that 20% equates to over 2 trillion is absolutely mind-boggling. Spurred on by Fed, both Republicans and Democrats championed spending bills that were in the trillions overnight. Reticence for fiscal conservatives, remember those guys? The Tea Party. In all OECD, that's the mature economic countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK, obviously America. Countries vanished. Fuck austerity. QE for the people. I guess I'm saying in this video. Fuck austerity. Austerity. QE for the people. Money printing. Helicopter money. Bernanke made a paper in 2004 saying he was going to airdrop USD currency units on the people from a helicopter in the sky. Given the gargantuan amount of fiat printed since March 2020, how has our universe? 2009 Man of the Year, Bernanke, by the way. So he must be 2021 Man of the Year as well. Given the gargantuan amount of fiat printed since March 2020, how has our universe of assets performed? The following charts from March 2020. Oh, this is going to be good. From the bottom, last year, COVID crash, and until the present, normalized at 100. Okay, start at 0, start at the 20th of March at 100. And if you go down to 50, you lost 50%. You go up to 200, you double your money, right? So it's got Bitcoin, gold, S&P, TSM, USD, TSM, US equity. So Taiwan Semi, there we go. NASDAQ, SPAC USA index. Is there an ETF for SPACs? Wow. LMKD. I don't know what. Commodities? Maybe. Oh, yeah, commodities. USCRWTIC index. That's oil. All right, great. Got that cleared up. Bitcoin. 5.66. Yeah, 200 is double, triple, 4, quintuple, sextuple, septuple. We're at 5.6x. I like this better than percentage. Index. So much easier. Your percentage is just stupid. What's pink? Oh, look at that. Taiwan Semi. Doing all right. Done great. Everything else. 113 green. S&P. You made 13%. Really? Is that all? No. For March 2020, you've only made 13% if you got the bottom. Is that correct? Wow, I'm curious now. Everything else is gold down 25%. I said I hate percentages, but yeah, you're down 25% in gold. The physical monetary metal. I mean, might do 33% to get to 100, right? Back to par. Okay. As you see above, Bitcoin entered beast mode in 2020 and beyond. Every asset profiled in this space outperformed except for our dear friend gold. Oh dear. Bitcoin's past performance is amazing. However, what must happen for it to continue going forward, what must be true is that the Fed's balance sheet must continue to grow, forcing financial players and everyday people alike to look for a safe haven that protects them against inflation. This is the common denominator from 2008 until the present. Now, let's take a look at three important American bureaucracies. Bureaucracies? I can't say that word. Bureaucracies. Yeah, kind of can't say it. That play an important role in shaping financial markets, the Federal Reserve, the Department of Treasury, and the White House. Yeah, they play a pretty big role. Listen up. Those of us who love financial markets, trading, and investing all try to think differently than the herd. But what if listening to our policymakers generates better returns with less risk? Ooh, and less time wasted pontificating. There's also pontificating in the markets. I do it myself. I mean, how else are you supposed to generate your own ideas? He's saying, don't even try and create your own ideas. Just listen to the policymakers. The message is simple. Money will be provided in any amount necessary and for as long as it takes, such that labor does better than capital in the aftermath of COVID. Labor does better than capital. Wage inflation, right? Maybe. Minimum wage, $30. I don't know. This two-step is simple. The bureaucrats have been watching TikTok about to teach you how to Dougie. Treasury borrows money from the bond market. Treasury bond. So Treasury issues the note. The bond market buys the note. What do they buy it with? I guess US dollars. So now Treasury has US dollars, and it gives it to the White House for Joe Biden's to spend on his policies. That's the cycle, right? I believe. In order to keep interest rates down and prevent the government from crowding out everyone wants to borrow debt, right? I've seen free money. Everyone wants to get some free money, but you have to say you have to sign off on it, right? It's a debt. The Fed expands its balance sheet. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Point one is not controversial. It kind of is. I mean, that's the way it's always worked, but it depends on what this guy spends it on, isn't it? Point two is the conventional playbook. Why is this controversial again? Oh, yeah. It's kind of like buying your own bonds, isn't it? It's not a natural. They're manipulating the interest rate, right? Yeah, which is supposed to be their mandate, I guess. Who knows what the mandate is for the Fed? Print. That's always been the mandate since 1913. The mandate is to get more of their currency units out in the circulation, which are notes. Notes are debt units. So they want to infect the world with debt, or at least the United States. United States before the Federal Reserve, not much debt. After in 2021, the most indebted nation that the world has ever seen. United States, number 2 in country rankings on its economy. I keep repeating that point every video, I think. Point 1 is not controversial. Okay, here we go. However, I believe that all branches branches of the US monetary establishment are telling the market very clearly that the Fed will stand ready to buy all bonds issued so that societal goals are met. You or me, one of us, think like us, do like us, right? What does Biden want his society to look like? If I'm right, then the balance sheet will continue to grow as the government spends. Bitcoin number go up. If I'm wrong, the Fed's balance sheet will stop growing and maybe outright decline as it battles inflation. Bad news. Bad news, Bitcoin bears. Oh, you're saying either way, Bitcoin wins. Either way, they keep blowing up their balance sheet. Bitcoin goes up. If they see the inflation and try to fight it by taking away their capital window, the backstopping, yeah, how does Bitcoin win when they're taking away buying? Oh, as a safe haven, maybe? If I'm wrong, the Fed's balance sheet will stop growing and maybe outright decline as it battles. Oh, inflation. Yeah. Inflation's Bitcoin's still going to do well, isn't it? Finite asset, digital, networked, proof of work. Let's listen to the actors. Okay. The US government has discovered woke. Secretary Janet Yellen, Sec Yellen, Jan 27. Economics isn't just something you find in a textbook. It can be a potent tool to right past wrongs and improve people's lives. Oh, yes. That's why so many of Treasury's 84,000 public servants joined the department. Today, I'm proud to be one of them. Used to be Federal Reserve Chairman underneath Obama, or appointed by Obama, right? What does VP say? At VP, she got that. That's nice. Vice President Kamala Harris, tick. Today I sworn in Janet Yellen as United States Treasury Secretary. Secretary Yellen is a trailblazer whose deep commitment to working families. Commitment to working families. Our middle class will be essential as we confront the urgent economic challenges facing the United States people. Something like that, I don't know. Translation for the people. All of that. Yeah. Airdropping. There's no airdropping in the UK. No, is it? It's not the same. It's just not the same. You guys are getting cash money everywhere. Biden administration raised forgiving student debt by executive action. Not all of it. It's only 10%. Wall Street Journal, 4th of February 2021. The Biden administration is considering using executive action to forgive Americans' federal student debt. The White House chief spokesman said Thursday, responding to pressure for Democrat lawmakers and progressive groups. President Biden has previously questioned his ability to use executive action to forgive some of or all of Americans' federal student debt. He used to be VP for 8 years, so lovely stuff he's doing now. He's been cooking up for the best part of a decade, right? When did Obama get in? 08, 13, 14, 15 years he's been cooking up all this stuff. And he's been cooking up, he works for a party. Who does the party work for? It's people. He has instead urged Congress to pass legislation to write off $10,000 in student debt for every borrower. The White House shifted Thursday, saying it's open to forgiving debt without a move by Congress. He's like, Congress, I ain't going to listen to you guys. I'm just doing my own thing. Our team? Who's your team? White House team. Is reviewing whether there are any steps he can take through executive action, and he would welcome the opportunity to sign a bill to him by Congress. He would welcome the opportunity to sign a bill. Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary. Is she cute? Is she cute? Last one was kind of she was feisty as well, but not just feisty, but super smart. I forget her name. Blondie. Millennials' balance sheet must be delevered in order to prostrate them over the altar of consumers and bend them over, just like the boomer parents. Boomers. Let no household be without a McMansion or gas guzzling pickup or SUV. Yes, millennials, stop being, stop growing your beards and I forget the term. What's the term? Hipsters. Millennials, stop being hipsters. Be like your boomer dads. Drive Escalades. It's going to be Teslas, though, isn't it? Model X's. Democrats hit back at Summers after criticism of stimmy bill. Financial Times, 2021. Larry Summers, who served with Bill Clinton, he took away Glass-Steagall, caused much of the 2008 financial crash, etc., etc. You know, Summers was skeptical. Translation: the Fed is committed to printing money regardless of the potential impact on the US dollar. This is Arthur's words. Dethrone King Dollar, bring back US jobs. VP Joe Biden's chief economist Jared Bernstein, New York Times, 28 August 2014. This is 2014. Like I said, they've been cooking this stuff up for ages. Washington. There are few truisms about the world economy, but for decades, one has been the role of the United States dollar as the world reserves currency. It's a core principle of American economic policy. Petrodollar, 1971, yada yada. After all, who wouldn't want their currency to be the one that foreign banks and governments want to hold and reserve? But new research reveals, this is 2014, remember? New research reveals that what was once a privilege is now a burden, undermining job growth, pumping up budget and trade deficits and inflating financial bubbles. To get the American economy on track, the government needs to drop its commitment to maintaining a dollar reserve currency status. Whoa. This is Joe Biden's chief economist now. Flipping heck. ETH is going to flip Bitcoin, but what is the dollar going to flip? Nothing. The one is going to flip it, isn't it? They're going to remove the peg at some point. If you don't know how the Chinese yuan works, look it up. It's fascinating. I think it's pegged at 6.84. 6.841, which is their name for the buck. You know, it's renminbi, but no one says renminbi. They call it yuan, isn't it? Yuan. Imagine if you're a household, a company, and you decided to create your own currency, and you're going to peg it to the dollar, and anybody challenges why should your peg be 6.84, you just turn around and say, screw you, man. This is what I'm deciding it's worth. Right? That's what they do. They've been doing it for 25 years. So they've got a currency that nobody can actually buy or sell or trade, essentially. It's internal. So you send them dollars for your Chinese goods, your phones, everything Chinese, right? You send them $1 for Chinese product, they create 6.84 of their one. So you're funding these guys when you buy stuff from China. When you don't spend the extra 25-30% on something that's made locally in your country, it's all your fault. Right? That's why there's no jobs in your country, because the way you purchase, where you use your local currency, you should be supporting local businesses, supporting made in America, made in England. England has no car companies anymore, like big brands, right? The Mini, owned by BMW. Range Rover, owned by China. Oh my god, it's so disappointing. Jaguar, owned by India. Tata Motors, right? I think first it got sold to Ford, and then Tata rolled it out. That's our three biggest ones: Jaguar, Land Rover, Mini. Yeah, we used to have so many different car brands. It's unreal. I was still with the king of F1, with the king of like niche sports cars. Lotus, brilliant. Okay, sidebarring. But this guy, what he wrote in 2014 is being implemented now. Essentially, let's just see what. Just have inflation. They're ready to give you guys more than they normally say. Yeah, we want to keep it target at 2. Now they're going to say screw it. 2's the base. We're going to 4, 5 a year. They're telling you they're wrecking their own currency on purpose, right? Right. Do you understand what is being said by Joe Biden's chief economic advisor? Okay, let's see what Arthur says. Translation: Jared Bernstein is currently on Biden's Council of Economic Advisor. Council, whispering away. Whoa. An establishment economist. Economists are not traders. They're not businessmen. They haven't built anything in their life. They're just sitting in their ivory towers thinking up weird stuff to do with money and the economics and people and lives and etc. Is advocating against the US dollar remaining the reserve currency. If the US prints enough to fuel fiscal programs, maybe the rest of the world will get the message and top a neutral. Forget neutral. Fucking short that stuff, innit? Oh, adopt a neutral monetary asset like gold or Bitcoin. Well, gold was down minus 25% since March. Or Bitcoin as global trade currency. Bitcoin up 5.6x. So the traders have made their choice. The speculators, the bankers, right? Bitcoin's won. Biden and the Fed leave 1917's inflation behind, fear behind. Now as President Biden presses ahead with plans for 1.9 trillion stimmy pack. This is February 21. 1.9 trillion. Oh, is that when you guys got checks? How much did you guys get? Lucky people. Are you lucky? What if these stimulus packages start becoming monthly? Not monthly, but you know what I mean. Smaller, but monthly. After years of dire inflation producing, helicopter money is their policy they've been trying to implement. Student 10%, $10,000 student loans will be forgiven to encourage you to spend. They're giving you money to spend. They want CPI to go through the roof. They're telling you, well, yeah. After years of dire inflation predictions that failed to pan out, the people who run fiscal and monetary policy in Washington have decided the risk of overheating the economy is much lower than the risk of failing to heat it up enough. What? QE for the people. How am I doing on time? 35 minutes. I'm gonna make a part 3. I'm gonna pause it here and take a little break. I'm taking a little nap. QE for the people. All right. See you in part 3. Might be part 4. Who knows? But 35 minutes is good. All right. Cheers, guys. Later.